In the early hours of October 19, 2001, a small team of U.S. Army Rangers from the 75th Ranger Regiment embarked on a perilous mission that would change the course of the war in Afghanistan. The objective was to secure a strategic airfield in the southern province of Kandahar, a stronghold of the Taliban regime. This daring operation, codenamed Rhino, was one of the first major ground assaults by U.S. forces in the War on Terror. The context in which this operation took place is crucial to understanding its significance. The 9/11 attacks had shaken the world just 6 weeks prior, and the U.S.-led coalition was determined to dismantle al-Qaeda's terrorist network and bring Osama bin Laden to justice. The Taliban, who had provided sanctuary to the al-Qaeda leadership, refused to comply with U.S. demands to extradite bin Laden, leading to a swift and decisive military response. The war in Afghanistan was still in its infancy, with U.S. and coalition forces struggling to establish a foothold in the country. The rugged terrain, harsh weather conditions, and fierce resistance from the Taliban made every operation a daunting challenge. The U.S. military had to adapt quickly to this new and unfamiliar environment, leveraging its advanced technology and special forces capabilities to outmaneuver the enemy. In this fluid and dynamic battlefield, the 75th Ranger Regiment was tasked with conducting a series of high-risk missions to disrupt Taliban command and control structures, gather intelligence, and secure key terrain. Operation Rhino was one such mission, designed to demonstrate the U.S. military's ability to project power deep into enemy territory and set the stage for a broader campaign to defeat the Taliban. But before the 75th Ranger Regiment could embark on Operation Rhino, they had to contend with a daunting problem: the lack of a secure forward operating base in southern Afghanistan. The existing airfields in the region were either damaged or heavily contested, making it difficult for the Rangers to insert, extract, and resupply their forces. The U.S. military needed a secure location to stage its operations, but the Taliban controlled most of the key terrain, including the airfields. The Rangers were faced with the daunting task of seizing a remote desert airstrip, known as Objective Rhino, which was located near the town of Kandahar. The airstrip was a strategic location, as it provided access to the southern part of the country and would serve as a crucial hub for future operations. However, the Taliban had heavily fortified the area, with entrenched positions, minefields, and a network of tunnels and bunkers. The stakes were high for the Rangers, as they would be inserting deep into enemy territory with limited support and facing a determined enemy. The mission would require precise planning, coordination, and execution, as the Rangers would have to overcome the Taliban's defenses, secure the airstrip, and establish a foothold in the region. The success of Operation Rhino would depend on the Rangers' ability to adapt to the challenging environment, overcome the enemy's resistance, and achieve their objectives. So, let's walk through what actually happens when the Rangers receive their mission briefing and begin planning for Operation Rhino. The mission would involve a complex series of events, including an airborne assault, a helicopter insertion, and a ground assault on the Taliban positions. The Rangers would have to contend with the harsh weather conditions, the rugged terrain, and the enemy's defenses, all while maintaining their cohesion and focus. The Rangers' mission briefing would reveal a multi-phased plan, with each phase requiring meticulous execution. To begin, the Rangers would conduct an airborne assault, utilizing their MC-130 combat Talon aircraft to airdrop a team of Rangers near the objective. This team would establish a blocking position, securing the perimeter and preventing Taliban reinforcements from reaching the area. Simultaneously, a helicopter-borne force would insert near the airstrip, with the Rangers rapidly securing the surrounding terrain and establishing a defensive perimeter. The ground assault would follow, with the Rangers advancing on the Taliban positions, utilizing their training and experience to overcome the enemy's defenses. The Rangers would employ their standard operating procedures, utilizing fire and maneuver tactics to break through the enemy lines. Fire teams would provide suppressive fire, while maneuver teams would flank and assault the enemy positions. The Rangers would also utilize their supporting assets, including close air support and indirect fire, to weaken the enemy defenses and facilitate their advance. As the Rangers progressed through the objective, they would conduct a thorough clearance of the area, ensuring that all enemy personnel were accounted for and that the airstrip was secure. This would require a methodical and deliberate approach, as the Rangers would have to contend with the complex network of tunnels and bunkers, as well as the ever-present threat of improvised explosive devices. So, let's step back and look at how this operation actually played out on the ground. The Rangers, having inserted via helicopter, rapidly secured the surrounding terrain and established a defensive perimeter around the airstrip. As they advanced on the Taliban positions, they encountered fierce resistance, with the enemy employing a mix of small arms, machine guns, and rocket-propelled grenades. But the Rangers' training and experience kicked in, and they began to methodically clear the area, using their fire and maneuver tactics to break through the enemy lines. Fire teams provided suppressive fire, while maneuver teams flanked and assaulted the enemy positions, slowly but surely pushing the Taliban back. The Rangers also made effective use of their supporting assets, calling in close air support and indirect fire to weaken the enemy defenses and facilitate their advance. As they progressed through the objective, they conducted a thorough clearance of the area, searching for and destroying enemy personnel, equipment, and supplies. The operation was a masterclass in Special Forces tactics, with the Rangers demonstrating their ability to operate effectively in a high-intensity, dynamic environment. But what really made this operation stand out was its impact on the wider war effort. By securing the airstrip, the Rangers had effectively cut off the Taliban supply lines, making it much harder for them to maintain their grip on the surrounding area. The operation had also sent a powerful message to the enemy, demonstrating the coalition's ability to strike at will, even in the most remote and inhospitable regions of Afghanistan. So, let's step back and look at the broader implications of this operation. The successful seizure of the airstrip marked a significant turning point in the war in Helmand province. By disrupting the Taliban supply lines, the coalition had effectively strangled their ability to wage war in the region. This, in turn, had a ripple effect, allowing the Afghan government to reassert its authority in the area and paving the way for future operations. The operation also showcased the effectiveness of special forces in achieving strategic objectives, demonstrating that a small, highly trained force could have a disproportionate impact on the battlefield. Furthermore, the raid highlighted the importance of adaptability and initiative in modern warfare. The Rangers' ability to adjust their plan mid-operation and respond to unexpected challenges was a testament to their training and experience. This flexibility allowed them to overcome obstacles and achieve their objectives, even in the face of determined enemy opposition. The operation also underscored the value of combined arms warfare, where air power, indirect fire, and infantry work together to achieve a common goal. By integrating these different elements, the Rangers were able to create a synergistic effect, where the whole was greater than the sum of its parts. This, in turn, enabled them to overcome the Taliban's defenses and secure the airstrip. The successful execution of the Special Forces raid marked a turning point in the war, demonstrating the potential of unconventional warfare to shape the course of the conflict. As the coalition continued to apply pressure on the Taliban, the enemy's grip on the region began to slip, creating an opportunity for the Afghan government to reassert its authority. The operation also served as a catalyst for future operations, paving the way for the coalition to expand its influence and secure key terrain. So, let's step back and look at the broader implications of this raid. The operation showcased the effectiveness of special forces in achieving strategic objectives, highlighting the value of highly trained, adaptable units in modern warfare. The ability of the Rangers to adjust their plan mid-operation and respond to unexpected challenges was a testament to their training and experience, demonstrating the importance of initiative and flexibility on the battlefield. The raid also underscored the value of combined arms warfare, where air power, indirect fire, and infantry work together to achieve a common goal. By integrating these different elements, the Rangers were able to create a synergistic effect, where the whole was greater than the sum of its parts. This, in turn, enabled them to